Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the award-winning and soon-to-be again award-winning FORDY Runs podcast. Oh, no, it's the long run show, but I know some people keep getting that wrong. Anyway, we are here to entertain you for the next 59 minutes because I have to get to Birmingham. So we're on the clock tonight, people. So no mucking about, you three. Last time you three were on, we got a lot of complaints from Ofcom, okay, about your lewd behaviour. But we've got the dream team in. If you're listening to this as a podcast, we've got Hayden in. He's up there in his Brooks t-shirt. Is it a Brooks hoodie you're wearing?
It's Brooks hoodie I'm wearing, yes.
Yeah, Ben's down there with his. Is that an Adidas jacket behind you, Ben?
No, it's a Wild Moose. It's my dry road.
Wild Moose, okay, yeah, different brand. And Admin, she's got a Adidas jumper on. But yeah, so we're here to entertain you for the next 59 minutes, and we are going to be talking about, get ready for this, the do's and don'ts of travelling to a race abroad. We've got Judith Chalmers herself up there in his Brooks hoodie. And he's going to, yeah, that's true. And he's going to be talking now on a serious point. Yeah, this was somebody, and I'm going to get shot as always. Somebody actually asked for this, for us to talk about this. This was a subject that you guys have picked. Now, if you do want us to discuss a certain subject, you can email in, Ben. That's your bit when you can email in.
longrunshow@gmail.com.
Correct. We have got another email that I'll be coming on to shortly. But yeah, so if you want a subject that for us to discuss, please feel free to email in. But genuinely, I'm not making this up for a change. This is actually somebody asked for this, so that's why we will roll with this tonight. And we'll go from there. But we'll come on to that in just a bit because it's worth catching up with the team. I've already seen that the chat box is lighting up like a Christmas tree at Christmas. So thank you to everybody who's joining us live. Get your questions and get your comments in as we go through the show. Like I said, we've got the dream team tonight. I've got to give a shout out to our friends at Cooper. We're going to be joining them because they're involved with the Brighton Marathon and Brooks. That's going to be pretty awesome. But you can get 20% off and a free trial using www.fordyruns.com. So that's pretty awesome. Kendall, I'm seeing the guys at Kendall Mint Company tomorrow, which is kind of nice. Ben, have you got any idea what the code is there?
40 runs.
Well done. And Admin, now you have become a runner again. Yes. You're going to need some new shoes. Where are you going to go shopping for those shoes?
Start Fitness.
And which code are you going to use, Hayden, to buy those Brooks?
I'm going to go 40 runs.
Excellent stuff. You're going to get a cheeky little discount. Now, so back onto the breaking news as we came live was the fact that Admin's actually been for a run. She's blocked me on Strava, so I think everybody blocks me on Strava. But Admin, this is uncharted territory for you, really, isn't it?
I did 3 runs in 1 week.
It's unbelievable.
And one of them was a park run.
Yeah, but is that because you're training for the London Marathon?
No.
Manchester?
No.
Chicago.
Chicago. It's got to be Chicago. It's got to be Chicago. New York. It's New York she's training for. Now, look at her. Look.
New York hasn't come out yet, so how do we know?
So that's a no. That's what wasn't a no, was it? Everyone noticed that, yeah?
She didn't say no.
She didn't say no, did she? So, Admin, how is your running going now that being consistent to a degree?
Better. Like, actually going for a run 3 times, it's all just about building confidence back, isn't it? And I did some of them on the treadmill, actually, which I know we spoke about just before Christmas, but that actually helped because just being in a safe space, not having to worry about the dark, the lights, all of that stuff, literally being able to put on shorts, t-shirts, trainers, not having to worry about all the layers and stuff. So yeah, it felt good. And I had a really lovely run on Sunday morning. I'm very lucky that you lot turned up. Simon, Toby, Chris. Do you know what, actually? I felt terrible because we pulled up in the car. I didn't actually know that Bill had arranged to meet these lot. And so we see Simon's van. I'm like, oh, Simon's here. He rolls down the window. And the first thing I said to him was, oh, no, Toby. And he must have thought, you are grateful little so-and-so. The first thing I said was, where's Toby? And then he went, he's gone to the toilet. And I went, has he turned into Chris? And then I went, hold on, where's Chris? And he went, with him. And I looked over and there was you bobbing along the field in this stupid hat and stupid jacket.
Like a legend with some very impressive shorts. I have my fast shorts on. I've got a pair of shorts now. They're the fast shorts. Ben, I'm coming to you because this is quite interesting. I don't know if you heard any of that, but what she's been doing this week is running. And she's run 3 times a week. Something that's been on the treadmill. So she's getting back into running. I don't know whether any of that, like, you understood any of it.
I mean, I understood treadmill. I did.
Okay.
I have run this week. A little.
Really?
A little. Yeah, I ran twice.
Getting the bus don't count.
Public transport. No. No, I have, and then look, obviously I've come back from Disney, and
Disney, no one in the Facebook knew that.
yeah, I don't think anyone did. I didn't post any pictures.
No, you didn't post it.
And I have,
I haven't told anyone about it.
medal here, but all 6 are lined up here. Just
Okay.
no, but I think I'm back at work. It's just been a bit of a mental week, and so I ran Tuesday. Like Sabrina, I did a treadmill run, and actually I'm kind of converted on that in terms of it. I needed to get it done. So that was a good session. Obviously, Hartford on Tuesday night, and then just been a bit under the weather, but I'm out tomorrow and I'm out Sunday.
Good boy.
We got miles to do.
On that Disney thing,
Yep.
How do you get 6 medals when there's 4 races and then you get 1 for doing them all? What's the
Hang on. I'm just gonna lay down and die of boredom. Go.
No, I'm curious. How
Because
do you
that's
get 6?
5, right? Because there's another one. It's called the Goofy Challenge if you do the half and the full.
What?
So then,
Yeah, but you've just got 2 medals for doing the in fact,
Yeah.
4 medals, 3 medals for doing the same thing.
Yeah. You get to the end of the marathon and they're just literally chucking medals at you.
They must have a lot of scrap metal to burn
and then they give you, like, you're kind of coming through loaded with medals and snack box and just about to drop them all. And then they go, "Do you want a bag?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Can I just say, I think it's not unknown. I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And
Did you
this
fall
is
asleep?
not helping.
All right, I was just curious.
Like, I've already
You can carry
gone
on
into
now.
another room. I'm just putting that out there.
You in Birmingham yet?
Oh, I've got to go to Birmingham. I've got to drive. Although, no, I better not say that just in case, because they'll be waiting for me on the M1 trying to nick me. But I sneak through the radar. I've got a quiz.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, joy.
No, what do you mean? What? Oh, joy. No, it's a good quiz. This is Hayden.
I just got visions of our show last year, and this is how it all started. It's a bit like that film Hangover. See episode 1, episode 2, and episode. You know what's going to happen. This is started off quite professional. We're talking about running. We're talking about going out to Disney and doing this, and now suddenly we've got a quiz. It's
but hold on. I've got a question. Which can I ask? Because I don't think it's going to be on the quiz.
Have
you weed on your trainers again this time? Right, so
this has got nothing to do with urine, nothing to do with
I'm
Hayden's
just
dog.
asking.
It's got nothing to do with Hayden going out on the sauce, getting upside down and coming home and wetting himself. It's got nothing to do with Hayden.
This is all untrue. If everyone wasn't listening before Christmas, don't listen to a word of this. As per usual.
I'm not making this up. This is actually a genuine quiz that I came up with. And it's not really a quiz.
Oh, no.
It's kind of actually more of a guessing game.
It
hasn't got titles yet.
Why have we got a title or theme music or?
I don't. But what can I hear in the background?
It's Cooper.
My dog. That's Cooper.
Is that Cooper?
20% off if anyone wants it. Yeah, that is Cooper.
I can hear a dog.
You get a 2-week free trial.
People are going to be running along, Ben, along the river or whatever. They go, I swear that was somebody getting murdered.
Basically, is.
It's Cooper. That's Ben's dog in the background. If you're from the RSPCA, I'll give you his address later. Right. So, who wants to? Did you say you wanted to play my quiz?
Yeah.
You just said it's not a quiz, though. But
no, it's not a quiz. It's a bit of a guessing game. Is there a difference between a guessing game and a quiz?
Let's play and then
Do you know the answers to this?
Yes, I have them here. Now, everybody who's watching live, you can play along to this. And remember, this show is award-winning and soon to win another award. Yeah. Okay. So just remember that when we're doing this quiz. This is genuine. I actually thought about this. Okay. This is the park run quiz.
Oh,
it's really good. This is. No, you laugh at that lot. And I used the power of the app. I didn't. So did you know, right, that on January the 18th, a new parkrun record was set? Did you know that?
No. What
do you mean you two?
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
Oh shit! My quiz ain't gonna be very good now. I thought I was being really clever here.
And that wasn't actually a
shut up! You're ruining the quiz. Okay, pretend you haven't read that post. Play along, people.
Okay.
How long has that record stood in terms of record attendance? No googling, you cheating sods. How
10
long?
years.
How long?
10 years.
10 years. Right. Ben, Ben's googling it.
I don't know what my hands are here. I'm just muting for when.
Yeah, that noise. That's going to be annoying, is. Yeah, go on.
I said 6.
6. So when's that? Oh no, that's not right.
That'd been 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Go on, Ed.
So you're talking about from when it was last beaten, the last highest attendance before this one, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when was
I would go straight after COVID, maybe when it come back. I don't know. 20. I'll go just 2 years.
2 years. So you're saying. So hang on, I forgot what you
10,
said.
6 and 2.
That's because you started talking about Disney and Dopey. I've lost all interest in trying to think about what I'm doing tonight. I spent hours doing this quiz. Right, hang on. So, I mean, what did you say?
10 years.
Okay, 10 years. So that's 2014.
15.
Right? 15, hero. Hayden, what was you again?
I'm going 2022, 3 years.
22. Ben, although he's on mute.
2019.
2019. The actual record has stood. That the last time was since 2020.
Ah.
Yeah. So did anyone else get that in the comments? I don't think they're playing on it. Probably switched off like I have. Okay. Now you have to guess how many people took part on January the 18th in Parkrun. It's going to blow your mind.
Well, hold on. Totally worldwide?
No, it just please
worldwide.
don't complicate it.
It is worldwide.
It is worldwide. But how do you know? You got the answer.
I've seen the
Because he
post.
saw the post.
But I can't remember. I can't remember the figure. I honestly can't.
I was totally undone by the fact that these people use Facebook.
I haven't seen
Now,
it. So I've got no idea.
I'm putting this out there. This does include junior parkrun.
Oh, God.
Ooh. Okay.
Admin, go first. You're the smart one, Ian. The other two have got no brains.
630,000.
Okay. Hayden,
2.2 million.
what, on a Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, Brooks is loaded. Yeah, go on.
Oh, wow,
Ben?
I was going higher than that because I thought it had 4 million in it because it was worldwide. I'm trying to think what was in the post. Maybe 1.4 million.
What's outstanding here is that you two have read the post and you're so wildly pumped. You're like,
Well, I
it's
got
not
the
even
date right.
it's not even in the same like galaxy. Shall I tell you what it was?
Yeah.
220,000.
227,000 people did parkrun on January the 18th. Out of that split, 205,599 did the 5K, and the rest were junior parkrun. Now that is still right an impressive amount of people to get out on a Saturday and do some wellness, some physical activity. Now again, that importantly that includes the walkers as well and everybody involved. I think that's bloody impressive actually, and that's to say that stood since 2020, and you think that's only going to get busier because like how popular running's becoming.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's amazing, isn't it? So be
Do
fair.
you know what? I'm more impressed that there's that many kids out on a Sunday morning. Because they're between
over
like 4 and
5,000.
14. That's impressive.
And I don't actually, as somebody, I sit here, you think I'm taking the piss, I'm not. I actually think junior parkrun, I don't think parkrun do a very good job in promoting it.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually think the parkrun, and I think Brooks as well, should actually step up a bit in terms of marketing that and actually throwing some money into that.
Yeah.
It's really hard because they need volunteers and things like that. And again, you know, I appreciate everybody who does that. And it's so hard to give up a Sunday and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like people like Amanda and her team that do it down near us, they're unbelievable.
Do you know, actually, it was quite a bit of a true, not true story, it's the wrong thing. I am sitting here right now because of junior parkrun. So we've told the story before when me and Chris done the thing about how I got into running. My middle boys, I was playing football and I saw all the kids going around, running around mental this field. So I phoned Louisa and said, you want to do a bit of running with Aaron? I said, there's parents here with their kids, younger kids running around. You should come up and see what it's about. And it was junior parkrun. Never heard of it before in my life. So she started doing it with Aaron. And when I wasn't playing football, I started going down and watching. Then I would run around as well.
Oh.
By the time he got to 14, he wanted to go and do the adult one. So he done the adult one. And I went and watched and I'd done it. Then got into it. And there you go. 8 or 9 years later, I'm here. So that is junior parkrun.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here today, really.
I'm telling you now, I mean, England athletics are to blame. But I think,
obviously,
no, but it's true, isn't it? Why aren't they? Well, it's free, so why aren't they pushing kids into it? Why aren't they putting money instead of spending money at the National Running Show and all that money, you know, buying stands, sponsoring that? Why aren't they using that money and doing a marketing campaign to get kids into running through junior parkrun?
Yeah.
Like, and that's not me having a go at, like and just being like nasty spot, but that's genuine because if you don't invest in them, what's the point? So I think it's a brilliant number, but I think it should be 10 times that, to be honest. I think it'd be awesome if they're more into junior park. Let us know in the comments if you do junior parkrun. Right, so actually talking to the National Running Show, it says National Running Show this weekend. As I said, I'm heading up there. I'm going to Bruton Park run with Brooks tomorrow morning. So if you're listening to this live and you've not decided what you're going to do, come along because Mick is going to be running 16-minute park run. Bless him. So that's going to be fun to watch. What?
Is he doing?
I could have given him the speed.
No,
because then he would have. If he's going 15.59, that might have pushed him over to like 16.02. So yeah, so I think that's going to be awesome. But you guys aren't coming. Why is that?
I've got Battersea Park runs to do tomorrow, so
I thought you were going to say a better things too. No,
I wouldn't say that. I'm too polite.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm not
run
trying to think
anymore.
about what's that?
I don't run anymore, so
you don't run anymore. So there's no point you going to a running show. You should go to a sofa show
or a dog show, right?
Dog show maybe, but then maybe. Admin, what are you going to? A culinary show?
No, actually, I am doing something more important. I'm going to take my stepdaughter to gymnastics.
There you go.
That wins.
That wins over everything else. So yeah, if you guys coming to the National Running Show tomorrow, it does look good in terms of the speakers and things like that. I'm going to be there, mooching about, causing complete carnage for about 2 hours, and I'm leaving. So make sure you come alongside. Now we've had a controversial email come in, and I'm not sure how much trouble I'm going to get into for reading this out, but why not? So we've had an email. Again, if you want an email in the show, Hayden, what's the email address?
It is longrunshow@gmail.com.
Now, this email is coming from Mus S. Ahmed. I don't know who that is, but apparently she said, "Dear Long Run Show, big fan of the show, particularly the live shows that you do at the National Run, or used to do at the National Running Show. What does everybody on the panel think of England Athletics spending thousands of money to start a virtual running club, attracting runners who have to pay above average membership fees, when surely their role is to support other running clubs who already pay those fees yearly and place runners in those very clubs and try not to take them away?" What's the panel's view on that? Because obviously that's going to be promoted at the National Running Show this weekend. So if you didn't know, you've got to spend 30 quid to be an affiliated runner with England Athletics, and obviously that's they're targeting runners who aren't attached to a club in this country. They've obviously got that data from somewhere, but we don't know where that is. So they're looking to take those runners, and obviously that does bring concerns about maybe peripheral runners at certain clubs who may be affiliated to certain places, them losing those local clubs, losing those runners because they feel for 30 quid they can get the affiliation done, although you don't get any other benefits that I'm aware of, obviously the race discounts and things like that. But what do you think of that?
I'll go. No, do you know what? Actually, to be fair, it's absolutely outrageous. So England Athletics are there as a board they're the board for us runners to look up to, but they're also there to look after everything running in the UK, and that includes running clubs
and athletics as
well. Yeah, all the professionals, and they do that. But they're there to look after running clubs. So the idea I always thought for England Athletics was for them to look after a running club, help running clubs, put runners into running clubs, fund running clubs. But it seems with this latest announcement that all they're doing is creating their very, very own running club, which is very, very weird. It's a weird thing to do. And not only creating their own one, we all know the affiliation fee for England Athletics is, 21 quid? Yeah. As a club, not going to keep going on about it, as a club, 41's running club, that's what we charge, 21 quid. We don't put no money in it, no profit. That's what England Athletics charge. But in England Athletics themselves are saying, if you want to be affiliated with them, come to our online running club, which you get nothing, but you've got to pay 30 quid for. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I'm with you. However, I would like, if anyone in the comments or listening is going to National Running Show tomorrow where they have a stand, can they go and ask them what the extra 9 quid is for and where that money is going to go? Because that's a curiosity, isn't it? That for me is a question, which is, okay, if you want to do this and you want to give...
It's not Julia Park run.
But whatever it is, I think that's where the transparency of a body like that is there to support athletics and running in the UK or England. The question for me is, okay, if you're going to do that, brilliant, and you want to give people a home, because I'd rather people have a place to run in wherever you are, right? Like in the nicest way, whilst we'd love them all to be part of FORDY runs and they're all welcome.
Oh, yeah, this is nothing to do with FORDY runs,
no, exactly.
We're not a virtual club.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, if there is a space for people to feel associated to something and have that affiliation, great. But my question is, that £9 a person extra, or whatever it is, 8-10 quid, doesn't make a difference. Where's that money being spent? What's that being invested in to help the entire community across England rather than just them? And yeah, for me, I'd ask them the question straight.
I'd also like to know where the money came for to put all this together, to all the marketing, all the cost that's involved in all putting all that together. I think it was all the data, obviously, they probably get from like stuff. I don't know whether they get like Power 10 or stuff. I don't know. They probably got access to loads of data and see like who's affiliated to who. So they're probably taking that. I've got absolutely no idea, but probably targeting those people who aren't attached. So whether that's use of the data correctly or not, I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. But yeah, the money they've spent on that surely that would have been better to give to people who like trying to get on in like athletics and stuff like that. I've got no idea.
It's really
it's an odd thing to do.
It's a really odd thing to do. And as you said, clubs like, we're talking about virtual clubs. One of the bigger virtual clubs is Lonely Goats.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant.
Lonely Goats have gone out there. They charge a bit more. They charge around about 30 odd quid, I think it is. But they do other things in that. And they are a standalone club themselves. They need to they've got to pay England Athletics at 21 quid, which the question as well should be is, what are England Athletics? Not just doing that £9 admin. You are right. We should be asking England Athletics what they're doing with the £21.
That's what I was going to say.
It's not just a £9, it's the 30 quid.
Well, it's the 30 quid. Where does the 30 quid go? Apart from the pay people's salaries and stuff like that. And again, the coaches at England Athletics are brilliant people. Yeah. The welfare officers, the welfare system that's in place, and all that sort of money they spend on the safeguard and all that's brilliant. It really is. Honestly, I love those people. And as someone who is a qualified coach, athletics coach and running coach, these people who are amazing. They really are just great people. All the people that work for England Athletics. But as you say, it's the most awful thing to do that could impact smaller clubs who maybe you pay, I don't know. Let's say you pay, I've got absolutely no idea. You belong to a club and you pay £50 a year, right? And in that £50, some of that money goes to, like, I don't know, you might have a bus to take you to a race or an event, bit of track hire. Maybe you have to pay subs to hire the local hall or wherever it is. And it's all rounded into that membership. And then you obviously you go along to those sessions. But if you're somebody who's spent that money because you want to get the affiliation and you're sort of a peripheral like runner, you're a bit of a solo runner, but you're joined to that club because you like to, get the benefits of being affiliated and things like that. Well, that's 50 quid, but they're charging you 30. So, for £20. So they're probably going to lose those local clubs that need those runners because they need that money to keep doing what they're doing, which is fantastic because they're getting people into running, and that sort of stuff and keeping people running and all that sort of side of things. But potentially you're going to have a big periphery of runners who will go, you know what, I don't need to be a member of that because I don't really go that much, but it was nice to have. I can spend £30, even though you are better off joining, Lonely Goat or somebody like us. They're going to lose all those runners, and the only person who's going to win is England Athletics because they're making money out of that, which doesn't seem all right. It gets invested in. The whole thing just doesn't add up.
My other question for them would be like, what's the feedback loop? Because if these things are happening and they're there to support the clubs, where's the opportunity for collectively clubs? Because yes, one person can send an email and you'll get a one-person reply from someone working their right or whatever level, which is fine. But actually, where's the opportunity to go back for collectively them to put stuff out and say, actually, what support do you need? Where do we need to invest? Because not just, there'll be hundreds of clubs across the country. We see them every week at park run races, wherever, right? That probably go, actually, we could do support with this, or this is where we need the help and this is where the investment needs to be. So I think there needs to be that opportunity for it to be a two-way conversation.
I agree. Can I just ask as well, Kurt Wilson has made a comment. It'd be great if, Kurt, you can get back to us as well, saying he got an email from EA asking about joining, obviously, the England Athletics Club. I'd like to know, Kurt, if you are affiliated elsewhere, possibly, you said that about 40 runs, possibly you're affiliated with 40 runs, because I think one of the biggest problems here that isn't being addressed, they're actually chasing people
that
are affiliated at the moment. If they're going to go after runners that aren't affiliated, there's some justification there. Because they're saying, come into our network and we look after you. They're going after runners that are already affiliated because they know who they are, send out emails. That's targeted, trying to take runners from clubs, which straight away, what on earth are they doing?
And that's the thing, is they're almost acting it feels like they're acting in competition against the running clubs that are they not supposed to be represented.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have. They're looking to take runners away from traditional running clubs. Again, I couldn't give a monkey's what they do versus what we're about, right? We are the only hybrid club in the country, right? They had to reclassify us because they didn't know what we are, because we're physical, clubs, 1,500 runners going out every week, huge membership across the country, right? They don't know what to do with us. We're a pain in the bum. because we're taking down barriers. You've got amazing local traditional clubs, brilliant clubs like Newcastle. You think when you go up there, those amazing clubs that you see up there, they're absolute die-hard athletics clubs. They're brilliant people who belong to those. And they're paying their subs, but England Athletics are bombarding them with emails, paying all this money out to advertise at the National Running Show. It doesn't matter if it's National Running Show or another expo. This is it doesn't matter. I pick up on it because they're launching it at the National Running Show, and they spend all that money on sponsorship and all that sort of stuff. It just, the whole thing don't seem right to me. It doesn't see. I'd rather them say we're going to spend this amount of money and we're going to support all the local clubs in all the local areas, and we're going to do this, this, and this, or ask them, what do you need to help grow that membership? Because there's so many younger people out there who've got into the sport post-pandemic, which is brilliant. And you see them doing, like, because we always joke about, the Friday night runs and all the, the Hoka Run Club and all this sort of stuff. They may not even have a clue about the England Athletics framework and the model of the traditional club, some of them. So that would be great to get, those people into those local clubs, those local communities, so they get another generation coming through. That's where the money, I believe, should be spent. So it gives those local clubs longevity and safeguarding against, basically competition, which is what England Athletics are now doing. They're a competitor against local clubs.
The people they should be representing.
Their role is not to be a competitor, but what they've become is a business. And I personally don't think that's right. I think it's disgusting that they're basically going to be taking away potentially members from other local clubs. And instead of sending those and directing those new people who may be affiliated to their local running club, or like Lonely Go or ourselves, or and other clubs like that, they should be doing that and working with those clubs and making it improve. Like, spend the money and improving the membership process and joining, instead of doing all at once in like April, which is completely nuts. It's like it's from 1978. Do it on a rolling basis. Spend that money and invest in the technology. But really, we want them to spend that money and invest in the athletes and the kids. That's where the money should be spent, instead of trying to nick all these runners who are unattached, or even, as you say,
it's not unattached. As Joe Roberts just commented, and Kurt's got back to me, he's affiliated with his running club, Stilton Striders. So England Athletics know that he's affiliated, and they've still sent him an email saying, "Come and join our running club."
But the problem is that nobody's standing up to these people. The government, I don't know whether they've got a regulator, probably not. So who is stopping them from doing this? Nobody, because they're basically a business, and this is where it's so wrong, and it highlights what's wrong about the sport, which is really a shame. Because if you actually turned it around on its head, as I said, they put the money that they do get, which I appreciate is probably not a hell of a lot. Maybe they need to go out and hunt and get money from other places, and that's fine, to invest in our athletes and continue the hard work that's being done there. And again, to invest in the amazing staff that they have working at England Athletics, who do an incredible job on the coaching side and the other side of things. But this is, I think this is totally the wrong way of doing it. And I think it undermines the whole traditional club system that we operate in this country, that we should actually be proud of. Because in America, it's different. This is our system that we have is something that's really, truly incredible. These local run clubs, these local communities, and what you think about, certain ones being more traditional and, turning their nose up to people who are slow and all this sort of stuff. Put that honestly to one side, because you don't have to go there. Yeah, you can go and find your own tribe. But to go out and actually market to those runners who are attached already to clubs and try and nick them and grab them from their club that they belong to, I think honestly it's disgusting. And the money they've wasted on this, somebody needs to be made accountable for it. I just think the whole thing stinks. And as you said, whoever said about it is they're launching it at the National Running Show. So you think how much money they've spent to do that as well. It's not right. That money could have gone into a kids program. Who knows? But anyway, so
it's all right, because Kurt Wilson's offered to be the official correspondent from the National Running Show tomorrow. Thank you very much.
No, just
he's going to send us an email.
Let's ask all three of you a question. Yeah. Actually, a bit really quick answer of that. Mike Gordon, he said it. I'd like to know your opinion. Let's start with Ben. What do you think the advantages? Because I know you are all affiliated. Ben, what do you think the advantages of being affiliated?
And I was actually going to say that to you, because I don't think there's that many races anymore that we get the discount, like that we get a discount for. And I'm happy to kind of be corrected, but I know I can't remember the last time I was asked. I think maybe ATW still.
And also,
still
sorry,
offer it.
Ben, just I don't apologies, but again, you can join us for free, and the race discount that you receive at ATW and all that using your England Athletics, we have a code that gives you a greater discount. So there's absolutely no point in
and
that
that's it. And exactly that I used to go, oh, I did enough races almost to cover the cost of affiliation, right? So now if I sit here and say what are the benefits of it, is our marathon places, but actually they've been reduced as well, right?
Yeah, that again, it's England Athletics.
Throw that,
yeah, TCS London Marathon, they cut down our marathon places. So we used to get 4, I think, or 3, or whatever it was, depending on whatever it was. They cut it down to 2. Right, but we're lucky that we have partners that we work with, brilliant partners like Brooks and people like that, who allow us, and the amazing work that our volunteers do, actually, Mel and the team and everybody who volunteers, to be able to give our members. So we've this year given, actually 2024, we gave away 8. I know I've already, through my partnership with Start Fitness and Adidas, we gave away a Manchester Marathon place to our members. You know what I mean? So it's like, I actually know a community, make sure I'm actually transparent. So, you know what I mean? So again, but I would say this, I think it's really nice being affiliated. When somebody says to me, what's the benefits? It's, now again, I set 40 Runs up to be totally open to everybody from all walks of life. So there is no barrier to being part of what we've created. Okay. Which is why some people get a little bit upset, because we've changed the mold. You don't have to pay to be part of our community. You don't have to have an app and pay for that to be part of our community. It's free. Okay. You can join everybody. You can get it wherever you want to be part of it, whether it's on a local level or a physical club that we meet up, down in Exeter or Carlisle or wherever you are, but you can be part of it, or you're a solo runner and you can be part of the global run crew, again, free. But we do offer the affiliation because I still strongly believe in what England Athletics, the framework in which it operates. I don't like this commercial element. In fact, this commercial element actually makes me feel physically sick, what they're doing to other running clubs and how that's going to impact them. But actually within the framework, and because I'm a coach and athletics coach and all that, and I've worked with the people at England Athletics, they're brilliant people. And the work they do with our athletes and the work that they do with the juniors on limited money is excellent. So I'm a strong believer in that. So I think I take the affiliation, and I pay my own subs, by the way, to be part of our club. I pay my own subs, so don't think I'm getting anything for free. But I like to feel connected to that side of things in terms of the framework and that sort of thing. The race discounts, I get more race discounts. Again, I'm very lucky. I get race places given to me left, right, and centre. But if I book an ATW event, I'll use the code that we get given because they're a great partner of ours. Yeah. So I think it's very much now a decision that you can make without so much worry about, I'm missing out on a discount. It's whether that suits you and you want to be involved in that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, you can get all the information on that that amazing new venture they've done. I reckon. I honestly, I think it's going to fall on deaf ears, as we've seen in the comments tonight. I think it's just a shame that they're targeting people through email addresses that they've obviously collected over the years. It's not right to go after people who are already affiliated. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, that was a good email from Miss S. Ahmed to set that up. Okay, we're going to move on to traveling abroad for running races. Now, if you are considering traveling abroad this year, there's some important things to consider, and there's some important things not to consider. So we're going to spend the next 20 minutes discussing this because I've got to get to Birmingham to go and see England Athletics National. Right? But no, I'm joking. But honestly, going abroad now is like the new norm. Super halves have helped. We've seen the community within 40 Runs traveling to Ireland and beyond to do park run, which is great. And people are now, since the pandemic's finished, people are venturing out now. I think it's amazing. I think the one huge positive of social media is seeing people going out and doing stuff in other countries actually inspires you. I think that's a huge positive from social media. You know, seeing Hayden get his 6 star is truly inspiring. The fact that he's done that journey and things like that. Obviously, it's not so inspiring watching Ben go and get 22 medals while he was like dressed as Princess whatever his face. It's really boring and dull. But other than that, it's actually quite inspiring. I'm not saying the piss. Like the super halves look amazing. Like that really does look like the stuff. I'm particularly enjoying traveling all the way to Cart. No.
Best trip ever.
But no, Joe, look, guys. I mean, just
no, but even like park runs, right? People, that's got people moving and active, and those challenges and stuff. So people going around the world. I think Tony and Lloyd have gone somewhere this weekend to get a Z, right? So that means you're going somewhere, you get a trip, and you haven't actually got to pay to run like lots of races. So it's not just the big ones that you've got to fork out lots of money for on top of a trip. There are other ways of doing it. Yeah,
it's. I would say, look, so I want to go for a couple of do's and don'ts because we've all travelled. Some of us travel better than others, Ben. But I would say, firstly, now you've got to agree, disagree. Now, I didn't want to do this as one of our world famous quizzes because I thought last time I did this, it got a little bit sideways. So I thought I'd actually just read these out. What?
Whose fault was that?
No, it wasn't mine. I'm going to try and read these out without getting confused. Okay?
Good luck.
Yeah. Remember, you got to leave the
strap in, people.
Deep breaths.
Right. No, so these are the do's that I wrote down. I think this might, some of these you might think these are obvious, right? But again, this is someone who's autistic wrote this. So this is why this is good. So research the race. Top of the list, right? Hayden, if you go and do it, like, do you look at the course map, the elevation, like where the water stations are and the weather and familiarize yourself? Like, it sounds funny, but like, not necessarily but like race rules, but I was going to say cut-off times is what I wrote down. Is that something that you familiarize yourself with the race before you go there?
Probably not as much as I should, but I think it's the absolute most valid point there is, and that is absolutely spot on to do it. Especially, I'm quite lucky, I'm quite confident with going to races. If you have any anxiety with any of those things, i.e. cut-off times, i.e. course elevation, you're worried about it being hilly, you're worried about where the start is, the finish is, how to get there, stuff like that. Absolutely, the only way to conquer all of that is to research it, like you said. So yeah, absolutely bang on.
I was gobsmacked when I looked at the Sydney course I've got to do. I was absolutely gobsmacked at the elevation of that. It was just like, what? So that's something I've got to deal with. Admin, in terms of where you've travelled before, how well in advance have you planned to travel? Because I think that's a big do, is to not do what Ben does and go, I've got to go Paris next week. I probably should book a flight.
Well, if I think about Chicago, we got the place in December. I think it was like December the 8th or something. Our flights were booked that same day. So the flights were booked.
Look, look at Ben's face. You won't see it on the pod. But
no word of a lie. Flights were booked the same day. And then and the hotels actually, because it was like, right, where are we going to stay? Look at where the start is, where the finish is. I think I actually messaged Hayden and Louisa and went, hold on, somehow I managed to get myself into this.
Chicago.
You're gonna have to do the same when you go to New York. In terms of this is something I like. So when we go to America, I get there a bit earlier. So when I go to Sydney, I'll get there early, and when went Tokyo, we got there early. So, but but we tend to leave. I don't know about you, but I tend to leave quite soon after the race. Is that something to factor in? Hey, Ben, you have an answer one. What about that in terms of?
So similar to you, because typically you'll find with most races abroad, you're going to need to, you have to go to the expo, right? And typically that's going to be the day before the race. So yeah, pretty much I will always try and get there at least a couple of days before. From that perspective, you also then got the aspect of kind of jet lag or at least settling in, and you just never know how much the flight's going to take out of you. So yeah, I would always, for races on a Sunday, I tend to travel on the Thursday, and then I'll fly out soon after.
Do you find the European flights impact you at all in terms of your performance now in Berlin? But does it make you a little bit more tired? Are you I don't know, Ben, in terms of traveling to Europe? I mean, you're the worst person. You used to fly all the time. So Hayden, because in your age, does doing even the short haul flights impact you? Because you're traveling all day in some respects, aren't you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes to how you almost get used to it. That's the wrong thing to say because it seems a bit conceited. But it says once you start doing something regularly all the time, a pattern. Like some people say, how on earth do you travel into London every day for work? If someone that does it like once every 2 months, when they do it, they're like, that is horrendous. How do you do that? But someone like yourself who does it every day, it just becomes bit of nature. And when you're doing a lot of these races, these short haul flights, they do become a little bit. It's like almost jumping on a train. It feels like, and I feel like everything's just becoming so much more well oiled. It's just you don't seem to have that big, massive operation around the flights anymore. You land, you get out. A lot of people jump in an Uber, go to your hotel, check in, straight down to the expo. Next day, you have a rest. Next day, you're racing. I think it's becoming a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more accessible, I suppose.
I think it is, but I think we are. Let's be really honest. We're all pretty privileged and we're all pretty well travelled, right? Like just to not. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, because I completely agree with what you're saying, right? But we walk into an airport, we know exactly what needs to be in our hand luggage, what we need to do, what we need to take off, what we need to show, where, when. Do you know what I mean? Whereas for lots of people, if they're doing it for the first time, or actually aren't really confident with flying and maybe fly once a year, if that, right? Some people aren't fortunate enough to get an abroad holiday. The thought of going to the airport actually can probably be worse than the actual race, because they probably know, right, I've looked at the race, I know what to expect. If my flight's delayed, what does that mean for me? If there's weather disruptions, whatever it may be. So I think...
Yeah, I agree. I've got an interesting question, and this didn't come in from an email from Miss S. Ahmed. No, this is an interesting one. Do you adjust your taper if you're traveling? Ooh, look at that blank look that's come over all of their faces. They're like, always done a serious question. Oh, what are we going to do? Hayden, you look the most confused.
I'm not confused at all. You're talking about taper, as you said. Predominantly the time when I've gone abroad, especially for a marathon, I've flown out on a Thursday. So with me, my last week of taper, possibly the Wednesday would be my last run anyway. On the Saturday, I'd do a kind of just what we might call a shakeout run. But so for me, the Thursday and Friday, I probably wouldn't run, even if I was here in London doing London Marathon. I probably wouldn't run on a Thursday and Friday. When you're looking at marathons and half marathons, I wouldn't so much taper down for. But that day traveling 2 days, I think if you're going to start running on them days, I think you're asking for a little bit of trouble there. So
what would you do, Hayden? Because you've obviously got stuff that's closer by, right? Or halves, like European stuff, which is easier to adjust to. And then you've got the stuff that's really far, like when Chris goes to Sydney, so he'll need to be there a week before so he can still get his taper week in. What do you do in that middle ground? So like Tokyo, where you probably flew like Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So you don't land till Thursday. What?
So Chris is going to experience it anyway because he's going that way. I think for us being in the UK, once we go west and we go to the US, because you're going backwards in time, you get that thing where you go there, you're tired, you go to bed, you wake up early.
No, you made that sound like Back to the Future.
It could be a bit like Back to the Future, but you've got that thing where you got that little bit of jet lag, so you're up early and you're almost getting everything done, and you can stay on UK time because the race is going to be early. When you go the other way, like you said, Tokyo, that is a different ball game. And if I'm honest, that did mess me up a bit. But I think sometimes you're so nervous about the race. So I was anxious about Tokyo, really anxious. It's one of them, and I was coming up in 4 or 5 weeks. I know a few people going out there, and it's the one race where everyone's like, I'm not sure about this. You got the diet. The diet is a massive thing. We might come on to that in a minute. You're talking about changing your diet completely, going out.
Elaborate now. Go for it. It's on the list. So.
I'm not the best eater anyway, but when you start thinking about going to places like Japan and Tokyo and that, it's not going to be your regular food what you're getting here. And I know you all take the piss out of me for taking my bagels in a suitcase and stuff, but that's the reason why I don't want to get there and think to myself, I've got to eat sushi for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And your hot cross.
That's a bit stereotypical. That's
stereotypical, but I wouldn't make the start line. I'll be in trouble. But if I'm going that way for the world, purely from time zone perspective, it's so much more difficult than going the other way. So much more.
I think the key in terms of the traveling, the time zones and things like, I mean, it's basic stuff, and most of you should do it anyway. But it's the staying hydrated and well fueled, like making sure you're eating as properly as you can. But the hydration side of things with the flying. I mean, Ben, you're ex-cabin crew. You know this better than anybody.
Yeah, and I will make sure I've got like my water bottle here, and I will take that on the flight, and I'll be regularly refilling that. And probably the day.
But not out of one of their machines.
No, bottled water, of course.
I was going to say that's all got COVID, Legionella's disease in there, disease, all that.
It's like serpentine.
No, honestly, don't.
And we all survived
on the plane because it's probably come direct from the toilet. Oh no, it's not for me. That
And then I would the next day be drinking hydration within my water as well to make sure I'm kind of rehydrating as well, just as a kind of safety net.
Do you mean electrolytes?
Yeah, electrolytes.
Yeah, sorry,
No.
I think the other thing to do as well, which when traveling abroad, which I mean, we did it in New York, I kind of knew Berlin to a degree, but and I left it. I've been to Sydney, so I'll be all right. But it sounds funny, but know where the start and finish line is.
Yeah.
Might sound funny, but like when you get there, if don't do like a million steps to go and do it, jumping in an Uber or on the, what that thing is, what they call it, where people get onto subway,
metro, train.
I think of all the people on there. But yeah, go and find it so you know where that is and the time it's going to take you and understand what that is. It's no different to like being here, but because you're abroad, you get a little bit more anxious about it, and even to the point, if you're traveling with someone, like with my brother when we did New York, I was like, "There's the Ghostbusters building. Let's meet outside that."
Yeah,
because we knew that once I come out of the park, that was there. So I will meet you outside. So we'd also spent the time to find a meeting place because obviously being in another country and not being second nature, it's a bit easier in like London Marathon. I know I meet at the same place every year. So that's pretty simple. But again, those sorts of, go on, Admin.
I was just going to say, I think you make a really good point, which is some of the stuff is actually, we'd still do it if we were here for a race. Do you know what I mean? Like we always, Chris, meet here at the end. So that if anything goes wrong, you lose your phone, whatever, you meet there at the end, right? Like, so I think whilst it's abroad and it is different because there's language barriers, there's time differences, there's cultural stuff that you might need to be aware of depending on where you're going. Actually, all the things, when you break it down and when you think about it, all the things that you consider where you're here, how you're getting there, how you're getting back, what have you got to take with you, it's just about being logical about stuff.
All right, question. Again, this is not coming from an email from Miss S. Ahmed. But do you take your running shoes on board with you, or do you pack them in your suitcase?
On board, hand luggage.
No, I've never get this. A load of people say this. Pack them in your suitcase.
No.
What, take them on? What are you going to take them on?
Wait. We've got both sides of the argument. Hang on. Ben?
On board.
And I'm with Hayden. I think it's total bollocks.
Absolutely.
You're going to
buy a new pair.
Buy a new pair. And then get it back on the insurance. What's the matter with you?
Nothing new on race day. Come on.
Actually, that's on don'ts. That's on my don'ts list. Have you seen my don'ts list?
No, I haven't yet. I'm with Sabrina on this one. Sorry.
No, I'm not having it.
Because it's one, as much as I probably relaxed about it, that's one thing I'm like, I don't want to have to get there and then start.
What, your stinky old shoes going on that plane? No wonder there's all these bugs on there. It's you and your dirty feet.
I hate carrying hand luggage anywhere. Like, I'll avoid doing it if I'm going on holiday.
You make Bill carry it all for you, poor guy.
Do now, but I literally, it's the only time I actually now will carry hand luggage, and I've started making him do it as well if we're going to a race. I'm like,
I'm not surprised, Skip. I'm not surprised it's happening.
The only thing is, where do you stop with that? So trainers, what? Do you take your shorts? Do you take your t-shirt? Do you take your socks?
All of it.
Take your whole kit?
Race day kit.
That's mental.
My whole race day kit is in my hand luggage.
Half-tights don't take much, do they, Hayden?
I mean,
I wouldn't know.
I mean, I'm on the spectrum and I don't do it. So
my hand luggage is my whole race kit.
But look at Marissa's comment, and I'll say one of the girls I was in Florida with, the last time she did that challenge, her suitcase didn't arrive, and she had to go and get 4 different running outfits. So I only packed one of mine for the first race in my hand luggage. But I just think with that, better to be.
Yeah, but how do you get all your other things in your hand luggage then?
Like what?
Like a couple of iPads, a couple of sets of earphones, because in case one set fails. Cut all the sweets, all the sour sweets, all the mint sweets, all the fizzy sweets.
How do you just buy them at the airport?
No, you have to pre-pack all that. That's the important stuff you need to be packing. A couple of chargers in case one charger doesn't work.
I fall asleep before the plane's taken off. None of that matters to me.
I just don't think you can keep.
That does, man.
You almost can't keep looking for the bogey, man. You put your.
I like this. He's my guy.
You put your stuff on the plane and you just hope it gets the same. What's the difference going to a race and you're going on holiday? It'd be just as bad as you go on a holiday and you lose your case. It's a disaster. If it happens, it happens.
I'll be honest with you, Hayden. It feels like we're pissing against the wind here. Everybody's in the comments agreeing with these two idiots.
Do you not, when you go on holiday, do you not have like a random change of clothes in your hand luggage?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
no.
I do.
I won't even take hand luggage.
Listen, be prepared, right?
No, I've got too much other stuff in my hand.
That's busy squeeze by the sounds of it.
No, you need sour sweets. They stop a panic attack. Little tip for everybody there.
Oh, do they?
That's not on my list.
I might bring them on our long run.
Don't put them in a packet bag. Go with your
sandwich
keys and all
bag.
that other
I got new sandwich bags for you for this week.
Right. Anyway, don't, because I've just seen the time. I've got to get to Birmingham. Was it? Right. So I think we've established that we just don't try anything new on race day. Don't go to the expo and go, oh, those trainers look good, and then run the New York City Marathon in them, because that'd be a stupid idea, wouldn't it be, Ben? Don't. What?
It does happen. To be fair, Marissa in the comments, she bought a brand new pair of Saucony Pros at Chicago. She running them and she got a PB.
Honestly,
shouldn't say that. But
and I did do it in New York. I did buy a pair of new colours.
I know. I'm winding up. To be fair, right? I think there's certain things you can get away with. Like, if you know that shoe works for you, you've had a pair, blah 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 blah, and you can get all that sort of stuff. That works. For me, I wouldn't buy like socks or shorts or anything like that, and then go and wear them on race day. I wouldn't do that. But anyway, so each their own that. This is an interesting one, right? Actually, two. Firstly is, I think, not to overdo it pre-race. I think you go to these amazing places, these new places like Cardiff and stuff, and you want to explore, but you can overdo it, like Tobe did in Yorkshire. He totally overdid it, going through all the cake shops, and that's what showed up at mile 23 when I saw him over that banister trying to be sick.
Was it that all the 24 beetroot juices he had?
Might have been that, or the fact that he'd done no training for that marathon, to be fair. But the point is you don't want to overdo it pre-race, but you can't help. Sometimes the temptation's there, isn't it? It's like, oh, I'm just going to go, especially if you're going to somewhere like amazing, like Sydney or whatever, like I will be again. You're going to want to go and see all this stuff, right? But actually, really, you shouldn't be overdoing it. So it's a little warning to all of you.
Does that include the overdoing it? Maybe like when you go to Prague and it's the Friday night, 2 days before race day, and you're still in the pub at about 3 o'clock in the morning doing shots with the barman, and you're absolutely upside down, and you think, I've got a super half for 24 hours.
You were there.
I know. I know. And that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he's talking about himself here.
To be fair, I'm talking about, there's about 8 or 10 of us.
I mean, it's the fact that he said he gets there and then rests before the race. And in my head, I'm like, I don't think he did.
What about running up some really steep stairs with a suitcase?
Oh, yeah, that was... or racing to Scotland. I mean, that's a stupid idea as well. Absolutely ruined me, that did. If you've not seen that video, by the way, where me and Simon... me and Simon raced Admin and Tobe to Scotland. Watch it. It's brilliant. They flew. We went on train. And there was a lot of running upstairs being done. Okay, we've said about jet lag. Don't underestimate jet lag, right? And I think the other one I want to sort of bring into is that recovery element, right? Which I don't think people think about. And that goes on to what I was saying about what day do you travel back? Because I think it's underestimated. Like, again, the impact that, let's say it is a marathon or a half marathon, and then to then do all the traveling, that can actually take longer for you to get over what you've done. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
So don't underestimate that side of things. You might be thinking, I feel a bit ruined this week, or it's taking longer to recover. It's because you've got that traveling element involved. So plan what you're going to do. So, like, don't necessarily book like to go to like run club on like the Wednesday after you get back, or whatever. If it's going to be a certain session that you know of, or something like that, maybe give yourself a few extra days day off to do some recovery work. Maybe instead of doing your run club, go and do some cross training, a bit of yoga, whatever, and try and get over some of that traveling, get it out of your system. It might just take a little bit longer. Do you find, guys, where you've done will you keep with the marathons because it's easier? Do you think it takes? Have you found that it's taken longer for you to recover from the ones that you've travelled abroad to than the ones that you've done? In fact, Hayden, have you ever done one at home other than London? Because I know you fly around your jet.
I've done Boston, UK.
Yeah, but that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, just
you don't like the UK, do you? You don't. You're not very patriotic.
Don't get me in trouble. Right? I'm the most patriotic person there is.
Okay.
But no, you're right. You're right. What you said. I think and I have felt a bit rough. And it isn't just marathons. I've done Vegas half, and coming back from that, I really struggled with that. And that wasn't just because we was out partying. That was just that extended time. What they were 8-9 hours behind that flight, 12-hour flight, 11-hour flight. Vegas, I come back, and that took me a few days to get myself back together. I didn't go out there long enough. The stupid thing of all of it is, well, we go back to a comment you said earlier. The good tip is to get there a few days before to get your feeling. But ideally, what you want is a couple of days after the race to wind down, then do your sightseeing and stuff, then fly home when you're in a better state. But he's talking about extra time, extra money, etc. So
money, innit? At the end of the day, it's money. It's time off work. It's like anything, innit? We're all like everyday runners, and some of us are fortunate to go abroad to do these things. Others aren't. But I say it's definitely. So whoever sent that in, I've got no idea who it was. It generally is an interesting subject because, as you say, more people are going abroad. Now I think it will continue to boom, and you see that through like the stuff sports tours are doing. Big shout out to them. You know, they're now promoting the super halves, which is great because it's a fantastic series, which makes, you know, you don't have to be doing marathons and things like that. I mean, would you like to see like I'm going to just use the name, but like Super 10K series or something like that prop up, guys?
I like the idea of it. I'm just not sure whether you'd again, we're going back to expenses and time and stuff. Would you want to spend? It's not just the money for the race, because I'm doing Barcelona half in a few weeks. The actual race was €23, €25, really cheap. And they closed down Barcelona, which is fantastic. But you still got the flight out there. You still got to get to the airport. You still got the time off work. Whether you're doing a half, a 10, or a full, you almost need to justify that. So going out to do a 10K.
But you save money by not having hand luggage because you put your kit in the hold. See what I did there?
I do also think though, like we talk a lot about halves, marathons, etc. For there'll be a massive proportion of people that a 10K is a huge stretch for. Maybe that is actually their limits, and a half and a marathon for various reasons may not even be interesting, appealing, or physically
park
whatever,
run.
right?
The park run. The park run abroad's brilliant.
Exactly.
I mean, I know Hayden routinely flies over to Florida on his jet to do the park run there. It's true. That's true. You can't deny that.
Yeah, and look at Paphos and Benidorm and stuff. That how many of our guys did the
10K. Yeah,
well.
Benidorm loads have done the 10K. To be fair, you're right.
It is that.
There is places. There's park run in Tokyo, guys. Right. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. Well, mind you, I do know someone who flew to America to do 5K and then come back and do a half. But you wouldn't necessarily go that far to do 5K. But you know, park run again. We go back to the point of what we kind of started to show about is that accessibility of park run and how awesome it is to see that participation. And yeah, it might not be for you. You might have to work Saturdays, or you know, you don't have kid care on those days and stuff like that. But you don't have to go out and spend all this money to go abroad to do these races. If you want to travel, the park run is there, and it's incredible. And all the people who, you know, the local people who do that off their own backs and stuff, it's amazing, really. You think you can go to like some countries and do park run for free and meet other runners and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Like,
to be fair, Alan and Karen, our host of the show, he's gone out to Germany today with Karen. They pay £30 return for their flight. They've gone to Germany. They're going to go and do park run. I'm not sure where they're staying. You've got the hotel costs. But at the moment, they're stood in for £30. We all know you're going to do Saucony 10K and it costs you £65.
Yeah.
So and the actual park run's free. It's brilliant. And again, but you can stay here and do Barclay Park Run, like Gemma said.
And I would recommend anybody who's living in like Malta, Philippines, and where else that we're like national celebrities, come over and do Barclay Park Run. It's unbelievable.
Hayden, have you done it?
Have you not done Barclay?
I've heard so much.
Oh, you've got to come and do it. The date, right? Barclay Park Run is probably 5-minute walk from my house. It's so bad that I only probably do it once a year. It's that bad. The people who run it are brilliant, bless. They really are. The people the RDs down there, the volunteers and that, they're fantastic. And it's not, I feel sorry for them at all, but bless them, they've got this really hard park run. You're running around this tiny little lane. Huh?
You need a maths degree to work out what you got.
You run around it about 52 times. It's got like this. What's the word? It's got a special place in people's heart because it's like you do it once and you're like, Jesus Christ. But you've got to do it, Hayden. We should bring the troop down here. I'd love to see Darren go around it, to be honest. But I'd like him to do the winter course because you get a load of like muck and duck shit all over from the like. It's not even a lake. It's not even a pond. It's just a bit of like dirt with a bit of water in it and some
sold it,
and a plastic bag and a trolley.
I think it was the first park run that Bill ever did, and we just went, yeah, come to this, it's fine. He had no idea about park run, no idea what he was doing. And then we just sent him off and we went, just follow the first person, because none of us could explain the course to him.
But the people there, but honestly, the people there, they're so friendly. They're like all park run. And they make some other local park runs around here. I won't name them because otherwise I'm going to tell me off.
I was about to, actually.
Yeah, but they're honestly, the people there are so friendly, but you just kind of do it and you think, God, not feel sorry for them, but like, that's a tough sell.
I think we all have to commit to this year at least once, all of us going to Berkeley.
Yeah, but I want people to do the winter course because it's miserable.
No, do you not remember what happened to me? We went and did Berkeley. This was just before Petra got married, the week before. All right, we'll go and do Berkeley. And then the boys convinced me the following week they were changing the course. So I went, all right, let's go. We got there. They didn't change the course. The morning of Petra's wedding, I fall over, cut my leg open. It was an absolute disaster.
Yeah, Darren, the reason you got to come is because I want to see your big smiley face at the end of it after you've done 56 laps of a tiny pond. That's why I want you.
Yeah.
Right, we've got to wrap it. I've got to go to Birmingham, guys. We've loved being here tonight. I would say actually that we've been very well behaved. Admin, be fair.
Yeah.
We had a very sensible discussion on a topic that could have gone a bit sideways.
Yeah.
Did very well. Be fair. Hayden sat there in his Brooks hoodie all night, which is good news. I've said in my Adidas top. And Ben, what's that brand of that thing behind you?
I've forgotten now. What is it?
Yeah.
Wild Moose.
Wild Moose.
Yeah. Get it right. We're trying to promote me. And we should be back. I'm back on Monday. If I survive the National Running Show without somebody punching me in the face, which could happen.
He won't be here Monday, people.
That could happen.
Can we get Kurt to film it?
Yeah, probably the CEO of England Athletics go, what did you say about us? But yeah, it's just make sure you tune in on Monday at 8 o'clock. I will be here answering all your questions, talking all sorts of stuff, whatever it is. Where else have I forgotten, guys? Help me out here. I'm trying to find the outro. That's it, innit? We've done it, haven't we?
I think we're all done, mate.
We've survived. Right, if you're on the M1, I shall see you in a minute. Goodbye.